I want to focus on what I'm doing while I'm alive. I think quitting is great. You should be quitting on lots of stuff.
Knowing yourself makes life a lot easier at the end of the day.
What's up, man?
Hey, Evan, how you doing?
I got you, man. This is great. Tell my audience what you're all about.
So basically, my channel is about being the greatest version of yourself. So if I had to have one word, it would be greatness, because
Nice.
I know everybody has it in them. So I wanted to ask you 3 questions, and it's not only for myself, but it's for your audience, and it's for my audience as well, because I think it's really important for people to know what entrepreneurs are going through. So one question I wanted to ask you, it was 3 questions actually, but the first question is, what do you want to be remembered for?
I don't think about that, to be honest. Like,
Okay.
when you're talking about like when you die, like what people say about you at your funeral or the legacy is kind of what motivates you. That doesn't motivate me at all. I'm really focused on first, like, what can I do while I'm alive. I have like zero. I think my legacy lives on through my son and the people who've come to my workshop and my team. But I've always approached it as like, I don't care. It's not about me. It's all about the people that I'm working with. So the greatest legacy, I guess, would be like you guys doing work. Like everybody who watches the videos or reads the books, growing and taking advantage of it and doing something. Whether I'm giving credit or not. Like I think I'm like 0.5% of somebody's success because they're still off doing the work. Right? Like you could read a book and you might be inspired, but it doesn't mean you're going to actually work. If Clifford Starks is out there working, like you get the credit for that. I just did like a tiny ounce of a nudge, but you're the one doing the work.
Absolutely.
And so I think I live on with like all these little micro influences, but I'm all in focus on like what can I do while I'm alive, and really like in the next couple months. That's all I'm focused on. I don't really pay attention to legacy. I don't pay attention to what people are going to think about me or say about me at my funeral. I'm really only focused on what I'm doing right now.
Okay. So just live in the moment for you.
Yeah, like I have a lifetime ambition that's never going to happen. And then it's not even something I tell myself. It's just how I operate. And I think legacy is a great motivator. Like anything that gets you to do important things for good, I think is good, right? So if legacy is a thing that drives you or anybody watching, awesome. Like lean in heavy on it. Don't model me on that one. But I'm fully just focused on what I'm doing. I want to focus on what I'm doing while I'm alive. Yeah.
I got you. What I like about you too, as well, even with your answer. You do have a way of guiding people. You're very good at that. And everyone does have different strengths. So different things are definitely going to work for different people. Like I'm 100% in agreement with that. And you have a very good way of doing that with Alec and Lily. They're different individuals. So what drives them, their driving carrot or their driving force, their passion is going to be different from yours, but you both are all going to get to that same goal. So respect the answer, definitely. All right. So number 2, what do you do when you say you want to quit?
First, I analyze the reason for why I want to quit. I think quitting is great. You should be quitting on lots of stuff. I quit on stuff all the time. I just don't quit on the important stuff. So I think you need to have a big lifetime, forever goal, ambition. I want to try to solve the world's biggest problem. It's never going to happen in my lifetime. So, I'm comfortable with that. How I do it, I'm not attached. Like I'm not attached to the how. I'm trying to do it the best way that I think I can do it right now. Like me being here with you doing IG Live, I think is a good use of my time to try to help me accomplish my mission. Maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe next week I decide, you know what? Like Instagram is not the thing. It's not feeling right, and so I'll quit on it. So I think quitting on the how, you should be quitting on the how lots of times. Don't be too attached to the how you get to your goal, but you're stubborn on the why. And so So if I'm quitting on the how, I love it. It's great. Like I just found a better path. I think people should quit sooner on the how. I haven't had to quit on my why in a long time. Like in this business, I've never thought about quitting on the why. I did in my first business where I told my business partner that I quit. And at that time I was what? I was 20 years old ish. And it just the thing that got me through it was just fear of regret.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live knowing that I could have given it a little bit more. I could deal with the failure. I could deal with, like if this business doesn't work out, okay. I could deal with that. Knowing that I gave my all and it didn't work out, okay. But I knew that I still had something left. And if I didn't give it all, I would regret that. And so I had to keep going. And that's the thing that like, when I told my business partner, I told him that I quit. That was like the worst day of my life, of all time, in my entire life. Just feeling so lost and hopeless. And when you're quitting on your why, that's a really dangerous spot to be in. And so it was just a fear of regret that got me back up the next day and said, I have to keep going. I may quit next week, and that may be the end of it, but I have to know that I gave everything so that when I look back, I'm not thinking, what if I just gave it one more day or one more week?
Okay. I also got to say, as you answered that question, your why being belief and believing in people, the coolest thing about you is you take action on what your why is. You know what I mean? I think sometimes people can get caught up into the fluff or create an illusionary why. And I think your why runs much deeper than that. And I think it's your character. It's really what you stand for, and you take action on that. And I think what I love about the book, Your One Word, is it forces you to define what your why is. And I think when people are forced to define what their why is, the whole process becomes much easier. So knowing yourself makes life a lot easier at the end of the day. It's one of those things, like you had a conversation about the schooling systems, and I think the schooling systems can always be improved upon, but the truth of the matter is you have teachers teaching 40, 50, 60 students at a time, and the most important thing you can do, just as of what you're talking about, is guiding people to the solution, is teaching others how to solve their own problems, teaching others how to be self-aware enough within themselves and understand why they do what they do. And no one's going to understand themselves better than themselves when they take the time to actually do it and educate themselves on themselves, I guess would be the best way of putting it. So great answer there, Evan. And then also, what drives you, I guess it's almost kind of answering it, but what drives you to do what you do?
So I think there's a couple things. I think it starts with figuring out what your one word is. That's your most important core value. I think everybody has one. I think what that does is give you a rock to stand on. Like you're standing on a rock where most people stand on quicksand. You're standing on a rock that you can't be moved from. So when you don't know what you stand for, then you end up being swayed very easily by other people's opinions. You might get swayed by that used car salesman, sales tactics guy. You don't know what you stand for, and so you always question yourself, you always doubt yourself, you always compare yourself because you don't know what you stand for. So when you figure that out, it just makes every decision in life easier. So for me, it's believe. It's all I am. Not everybody likes that. You might come on and say, I hate believe. It's the stupidest thing ever. Okay, great. I don't need to convince you. I respect your opinion. But if you hate believe, it doesn't make me feel any worse about myself. Like I know what I'm doing is right for me. And so I think that's the challenge, is a lot of people don't know what the thing is that's right for them. And so when somebody criticizes them, it hurts and it forces them to question themselves. And so that's the constant zone a lot of people live in. And so I think figuring out whether you use the one-word exercise or some other form to self-awareness and find your core values, I think it's one of the most important exercises you can do in your life. So that's belief, but why entrepreneurs? Why human potential? Like, why am I doing you still got to pick the thing you're going to apply it to. I could believe in carpenters or believe in dog trainers, or like I could believe in anything. Why this?
Yeah.
So then I think your purpose comes from your pain. And I think whatever you struggled with the most in life or are currently struggling with now, you want to make it easier for other people. You want to, like, I think humans are good. I think 99% of humans are good. I think we're built to serve. We are built to serve. We want to help others. We feel good when we help others. I think that's built into us. There's still the 0.1% of people who have like a screw loose and go kill somebody, but like humans want to serve other people, and the best way you can serve people is through the pain that you've been through. You want to make it easier for other people, that they don't have to ever suffer that pain themselves. And so, for me, it was entrepreneurship. That was the worst day of my life when I told my business partner that I quit. I've never felt so low, so worthless as a human being. And so I said, I want to try to make it that nobody ever has to feel this way, which is why I created my content to help entrepreneurs. And so I believe in entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. And so when you figure out what your one word is, or your core value is, and then you figure out your purpose that comes from your pain, then you're set. Then like that's your why. You're done. Like how you execute it the how will change a million times from now until you die. But that's your purpose that never changes, that nobody can shake you from. And I just think that gives you incredible strength. Like you started this conversation saying, I wasn't in your face, or I wasn't yelling, or I wasn't angry, or whatever. Great, like some people want that. Like you're saying that as a compliment to me, but some people will see that as a negative, to say like, why don't you yell at people? Like, why can't you be more like Eric Thomas, or why can't you be more like whoever? Like, I love Eric Thomas, dude. I love E.T. We've collabed on videos. That dude's awesome. But I'm not him. I'm gonna do it my way. And if you don't like it, awesome. And if you find out about Eric Thomas through my channel, and then you go and you like unsubscribe from me and just dive into Eric's stuff, I'm pumped, because I want you to win more than I want you to win with me. Yeah. And I think that's the difference. And so when you figure out your why through those two things, everything becomes easier.
Great answer. I love the way you said your purpose comes from your pain. Yeah. I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, I tell you, when I deal with I call him the sperm donor. So my technical dad ended up leaving at a very young age. And I had a man who I couldn't have asked for a better replacement. And the one thing that he always gave me was he gave me love. And he couldn't do the work for me to be the man that I had to be. He could only guide me to be a man. And I think what I love about entrepreneurs is they can just guide you. They can't give it to you. And some of the marketing is it can irritate me sometimes, because some people market things as we're your solution. And the only solution is the person in the mirror. That's the only solution you have. There is no other solution other than that. And so when people get that aha moment, they got to get beat up a little bit before they have their aha moment. Like, that's part of the process. You mentioned in your book how you give a blueprint. The blueprint's nice to have. You need to have a blueprint. You have to have a plan to where you're going to. But then that extra sauce is your life, your experiences. That's what it comes down to. And it mixes into this that's your perfect cake, That's how it gets put together. So keep doing great things, Evan. Keep believing in everybody. And I appreciate you taking the time, too.
Cool, man. Thanks for the love. And
if you want to spend some one-on-one time with me, I have a special offer happening right now. Go check out the website right next to me. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.